I went to the cult Bethel School of Supernatural Ministry, so you don't have to. And now let's talk about their core belief system. Their belief system can pretty much be summed up by this book here, When Heaven Invades Earth by Bill Johnson. And this is another thing I wanted to say, is that the curriculum for the school is essentially just books from the leaders who are speaking at the church. So not just Bill Johnson or Chris Dalton, but Danny Silk, other speakers who are like routine at the school. We are reading their books for curriculum. In some ways, I feel like this is Bethel's Bible. It is essentially everything that they believe, and it is very highly regarded, obviously, because it is written by the leader of this amazing cult. So, as the title says, it is all about bringing heaven to earth. Bethel believes that we do not have to wait to get to heaven to be free of sickness. They believe that we can genuinely bring heaven to earth right here, and that we do not have to deal with sickness. We can all be happy, we can all be saved, and this can be heaven here on earth. So what that looks like is Bethel believes that it is always God's will to heal. Always, 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 and it is our job to heal the world. Going back to my other video where I said that they have the core belief that God is always talking, they also have the core belief that it is always his will to heal. So what that means is, if I am praying for somebody who has cancer, God wants to heal that person. So if they are not healed, there's a reason. Either my faith is not good enough, or maybe I have some unforgiveness. Those are like the two biggest things that Bethel will talk about. And yeah, essentially, it's put on you. Like, if you're not healed, you must have some unforgiveness in your life, or you just don't have enough faith, and you really need to work on your faith, because God is desperately trying to heal you, but he can't, because you are getting in your own way. This is an incredibly damaging belief system because, as you can imagine, if you are chronically ill or you have a terminal illness, it is on you to heal yourself, because God is trying his hardest. So I actually did have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome, and I was very, very sick for I think 4 or 5 years. I couldn't, like, at the worst of it, I couldn't walk around a grocery store without needing to take a break like every couple minutes. And I was very, very sick and had pain all throughout my body all the time. And I was waking up multiple times an hour and like in the middle of the night, and I could never get good rest. And when I received prayer from people at Bethel, they were like, well, God wants to heal you. Like, do you have any unforgiveness? So it is very victim shamey. And what I am about to say, I'm not trying to be funny, okay? It's not a laughing matter. It's very sad, but Bill Johnson's wife actually passed away from cancer a few years ago. So, I mean, if we are going to use the idea that like we should have faith, like, don't you think Benny Johnson had faith? So it's just a very detrimental belief system that I know has hurt a lot of people who have come in and out of this church. The other core belief is that we can do everything Jesus did. So there is a verse in the Bible, I think it's in Acts, where it says like, now go into the world and, you know, I give you these gifts too, and you will do great things and all of that sort of stuff. Now, a lot of churches interpret that as the disciples at the time. Bethel interprets that as all of us now. So they believe that every single thing that Jesus could do, like walk on water, be raised from the dead, all of those things, we can do that. We can raise people from the dead. We can, and I'm going to get into that story later, where they tried to resurrect a 2-year-old, the daughter of a worship pastor at Bethel. And they did that for over a week. So I'll talk about that. But they genuinely believe that we can raise people from the dead, and we can do everything that Jesus did. And as you can imagine, this leads to quite a God complex. And I actually have seen some people become mentally unwell and lose their minds after going to Bethel, and it has been very, very sad to witness. During my time there, I really did start to realize that it never felt like we were worshiping God anymore. It felt like we were chasing after signs and wonders. It felt like you're almost chasing that high of seeing the next healing, getting that next prophetic word, and they have it as an idol to them. Like the feathers, the gold dust, which I'm going to get into, like, it's just the hype of seeing signs and wonders, and you really lose touch with just the heart of God himself. And I just think that the belief system is very off. And yeah, I did not like my time there, obviously. In part 7, I am going to talk about the fire tunnels. Finally, that is a little bit more crazy and kind of lighthearted because it's just absolutely so insane. I cannot believe that I was ever a part of it. It's so embarrassing, guys. But the fire tunnels, the manifesting in the spirit, that was something I saw on the daily. So stay tuned for part 7.